Co-presented by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group. Co-powered by Qatar Airways and ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel India.
India, good evening. Thanks for joining us on the News Hour. My name is Pranesh. The political atmosphere within the Parliament has become increasingly tense and combative, transforming the temple of democracy into a battleground. In a scene reminiscent of 1989 marked this date, when 63 MPs were suspended en masse for creating ruckus over the tabling of the Justice Thakkar panel report on the assassination of Indira Gandhi. A similar event occurred today. This time, the contention was over the lack of statement from Union Home Minister Amit Shah in relation to the security breach on December 13. A record number of 78 MPs from the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha were suspended for the remainder of the winter session. The MPs held placards and raised slogans within the well of the House, prompting the Speaker and the Chairman to take action. This brings the total number of MPs suspended to 92. You heard it right, 92. Calling it a murder of democracy, the opposition says that the government is following the bulldozer model of crushing the opposition's voice. The Congress has even called for the gherao of the Parliament on December 20th. They say democracy is dead. Listen in.
We have no moral ground to run this house. To expel all the, suspend or expel the opposition fully. How they will run the house? They will run the mockery, nothing else.
देश आज साफ साफ देख रहा है कि पार्लियामेंट के अंदर कैसे बुलडोजर चलाया जा रहा है। विरोधियों को कुचलने का एक प्रक्रिया है और सिर्फ अमित शाह जी को उनके विफलताओं को बचाने के लिए एक बुलडोजर चला रहे हैं विपक्ष पर।
Functioning only for one purpose, to suppress the entire voice of the opposition and to suspend maximum people, those who are raising the issues of the people and the security. Actually, our impression is that Parliament is for discussion and debate, but now the Parliament is for suspension of opposition members.
The BJP has justified the decision to suspend the MPs. It says that it was opposition's pre-planned strategy to disrupt the House proceedings. They say that this has been done in the national interest.
राज्यसभा में माननीय 34 सांसदों को सस्पेंड करना पड़ा इस सेशन के आखिरी दिन तक और 11 अन्य सांसदों को उनका केस प्रिविलेज कमेटी को रेफर किया गया है। तो कुल मिला के 45 माननीय सदस्यों को राज्यसभा में आज सस्पेंड करने का बड़ा ही दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण आज उनके व्यवहार के कारण ये स्थिति उपलब्ध हुई। मैं समझता हूं ये उनकी प्री प्लान्ड स्ट्रैटेजी थी। वो चाहते ही नहीं थे कि हाउस अच्छी तरीके से चले।
अगली व्यवहार नहीं करना चाहिए और वेल के अंदर नहीं आना चाहिए, प्ले कार्ड्स अंदर नहीं ले आना चाहिए। विपक्ष है, इनसिक्योरिटी में है। आने वाले चुनाव में इनसिक्योरिटी के कारण आने वाले चुनाव में फिर इस संसद में आते नहीं आते, क्योंकि उनके पास कोई एजेंडा नहीं है।
अराजकता की स्थिति उत्पन्न कर दिया विपक्ष के लोगों ने और एक ही उपाय था, देश हित में एक कार्रवाई की गई है और किसी को बार बार अपील करने के बाद भी माननीय स्पीकर साहब ने सरकार की तरफ से ये अपील हुई और ये कुछ भी सुनने को तैयार नहीं है, तो इसलिए कार्रवाई की गई है।
This brings me to the legitimate question, who will answer for Sansad Sangram? Because disruption is becoming the norm.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Let's open this up. First up, Lahir Singh Siroya, Member of Parliament, BJP from the Rajya Sabha, Mahua Maji, suspended Member of Parliament of the JMM, Dr. K. Jayakumar, Member of Parliament suspended now of the Congress Party. Good evening, all of you. Dr. Jayakumar, I want to start by asking you, sir, what do you make of what happened today? Because the government says that the chair had no option.
Hello.
Dr. Jayakumar.
Hello. Hello.
We can hear you, sir. We can hear you.
when the government says that the chair had no option, I am also left with no option. A member of the parliament is not only meant to smooth running of the parliament at all circumstances. It is not. A member of the parliament, he himself takes a view whether it is right or wrong. So as far as I am concerned, when wrong things are happening in the parliament, I feel that it is also the responsibility of the member of people who represent the people in the house, who has been voted to go and protect their interest, who has been selected and sent over here to do good for the country, is to stop the house from functioning. That's what I did today. Because we have been watching it, experiencing it, and we are being demoralized by this parliament and in the way the government is running this parliament. Take for instance today what had happened. We have been shouting for the last 3 days. What we have asked? What we have asked? Is the moon we are asking? Or we wanted to go to land in the lunar model and take us to the moon? Simple thing. On 13th of December, I too had visitors in the gallery. My friends have come from Chennai. And when I was just outside with them, one of my lady colleagues came and said that this is what happened in the parliament. Sir, this is the most protected place in the country. Let anyone say that there is a much more protected place in the country, I would say no. When in this most protected place itself, this kind of security lapses, this kind of safety defects are taking place, what this government is doing, sir? All that we ask is, let us discuss. Let there be a debate. Not even debate. Let the Honorable Home Minister may please come and make a statement in the House about what had happened, because the national security is in his hand. Prime Minister, we don't know where he was hiding, I would say. Is it not the situation? I tell you one thing, breaking from that point, when on the same day, in 21, when the parliament, old parliament was attacked by the terrorist, the first thing Madam Sonia Gandhi asked was, when she got the information, where is the Prime Minister? Is he safe? Because we want to see the Prime Minister first safe, and he comes and leads the country on these critical occasions. The Prime Minister was hiding in a rat hole. Rat hole. What is this? Should he not? He speaks outside the parliament. Amit Shah ji, Honorable Home Minister, speaks outside the parliament.
Mr. Jaykumar, can I ask you, sir, very humbly, I'll get Mr. Siroya to respond to what you've said.
Listen to me.
No, Mr. Jaykumar, I've heard you. I've heard you.
Finish it. All that we.
No, it's not about what you are asking, it's the manner of asking, sir.
People.
If you tell me, Dr. Jaykumar, if you were the speaker or you were the chair, what would you do when people are standing in the well of the house with placards in their hand and sloganeering, and the Lok Sabha speaker has... No, 1 minute, Dr. Jaykumar, sir, please. I'm just making a limited point. 1 minute, sir. Dr. Jaykumar...
I'll answer this. Please.
Dr. Jaykumar, allow me to make my point. So 1 minute. The speaker has said that the breach of the parliament has got nothing to do with this.
If I am the speaker, I would have, if I am the speaker, I would have asked for a statement from the government. Is it enough?
Okay.
Is it enough? If I am the speaker, I would ask for a statement from the government.
Now, Mr. Lahir Singh Siroya of the BJP is with us. Mr. Siroya, respond to that.
जी ऐसा है कि मेरी चिंता अलग है। मैं कांग्रेस को लेकर के चिंतित हूं। मेरा यह मानना है कि देश की डेमोक्रेसी के लिए एक मजबूत विपक्ष और प्रभावी विपक्ष का होना बहुत आवश्यक है। और अभी भी मेरा यह मानना है कि कांग्रेस ये भूमिका अच्छी तरह से निभा सकती है। जब मैं गत वर्ष संसद में आया था तो मुझे लगा कि मुझे चिदम्बरम जैसे व्यक्ति, हमारे प्रमोद जी तिवारी, डॉक्टर राम गोपाल जी यादव, ऐसे कई लोगों को सुनने का मौका मिलेगा। एक से एक प्रभावी नेता वहाँ पे हैं, दिग्विजय सिंह जी हैं और भी कई नेता हैं, और हम समस्याओं पर चर्चा करने में हमारे को भी ये अवसर मिलेगा और उनको सुनने का अवसर मिलेगा। लेकिन मैं देख रहा क्या हूँ कि विपक्ष और कांग्रेस इस बात के लिए तैयार नहीं है कि सरकार की कमियों को स्टडी करके उनको उजागर करने के लिए एक रणनीति के तहत आए, और उसके साथ ही सरकार को घेरने के लिए और सरकार को सकारात्मक सजेशन देने के लिए भी वो तैयार रहे। ऐसी स्टडी इनके पास में कोई नहीं है। 3-4 अधिवेशन से मैं देख रहा हूं कि किसी न किसी इश्यू को लेकर के पूरा हफ्ता या 10 दिन 15 दिन सेशन नहीं चलने देना चाहते हैं। मैं 1.5 साल में मेरी अभी तक मेडन स्पीच भी नहीं हो पाई है। मैं कई बार तैयारी करके आता हूं। आज मैंने देखा कि हमारे 91 वर्षीय श्री देवेगौड़ा जी वहां विराजमान थे, अपने प्रदेश की समस्या लेकर के उनका 0 आवर में स्पेशल मेंशन।
I'll tell you, let him finish, sir.
उसकी उम्र में वो बैठे रहे,
I'll tell you what he's saying. Let him just make his point.
I am on an English channel, I think.
Dr. Jay Kumar,
दूसरी बात बता रहे,
unlike the parliament, we don't have live translation facility here, but I will do that for you, sir. Let Mr. Siroya make his point.
कांग्रेस का ये
I'll translate what he said for you. Let him finish.
People who could speak English on English channel.
स्लोगन लगाने वाले नेता हैं, उनके पीछे पीछे कांग्रेस वाला भी स्लोगन लगा के वेल में आ जाते हैं। बड़ा खराब है और इसमें विपक्ष का ही नुकसान है और देश का भी नुकसान है। आज जब मैं संसद में जाता हूं, जो आदर वहां मिलता है सिक्योरिटी के वालों से, दूसरे लोगों से।
सिरोया जी, इनका कहना यह है कि इन्होंने बस One minute, Dr. Jay Kumar, don't get agitated, sir, please. Okay, let me first tell you what Mr. Siroya has said. He said, ever since he's entered the parliament, there has been a trend with opposition MPs deliberately disrupting the house. On many occasions, he's prepared a speech, but he has not been allowed to deliver that. That all this is part of a deliberate plan by the opposition. He says all this was orchestrated. You wanted to disrupt the house. Dr. Jay Kumar, this is the sum and substance of what Mr. Siroya has said.
Okay.
और दूसरी बात मैं कह रहा हूं कि कांग्रेस की जो हालत ये हो गई है कि कांग्रेस को ऐसे एमपीओ के साथ जाना पड़ रहा है जो अराजकता फैलाने में विश्वास रखते हैं।
एनर्जी इज अनदर पॉइंट दैट ही इज रेजिंग। सिरोया जी, आप 1 मिनट रुक जाइए। महुआ माजी भी हैं, उनसे भी बात कर लेते हैं। महुआ माजी जी, 92 एमपीज को सस्पेंड कर दिया गया है। सरकार का कहना है कि नेशनल इंटरेस्ट में यह डिसीजन लिया है।
देखिए, मैं अगर भाजपा की बात करूं तो मैं स्वर्गीय सुषमा स्वराज जी की बात कर सकती हूं कि उन्होंने खुद कहा था कि अगर सवाल पूछना और गतिरोध करना ये तो लोकतंत्र की खूबसूरती है, लोकतंत्र इससे मजबूत होता है। विपक्ष का काम ही है सवाल पूछना या गतिरोध करना। अगर आप उसकी बातों वो जैसा चाह रही है आप नहीं कर रहे, वो देश के इंटरेस्ट में कर रही है। विपक्ष चाहती क्या थी? वो सिर्फ यही चाहती थी कि अमित शाह जी आए और अपनी बात रखे, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी आए अपनी बात रखे। अब मणिपुर इश्यू पे पिछले सेशन में भी हाउस नहीं चलने दिया गया, बाद में उस पर बात की गई। अगर शुरू में ही बात कर ली गई होती तो इसमें क्या दिक्कत क्या है सत्ता पक्ष को? सत्ता पक्ष एक्चुअली चाहती ही नहीं है कि विपक्ष हाउस के अंदर रहे, ताकि सारे बिल बिना किसी डिबेट के, बिना किसी गतिरोध के पारित हो जाए, सारे इंपॉर्टेंट बिल्स। अभी इतनी बड़ी संख्या में इनको जो निलंबित किया गया है, इसके पीछे की वजह क्या है? आप पूरे विपक्ष को ही हाउस से निकाल दे रहे हैं, तो सत्ता पक्ष अगर बिल पारित करेगी तो डिबेट कहां से हो पाएगा? तो ये अच्छी परंपरा नहीं है, ये लोकतंत्र के लिए बहुत घातक है और लोकतंत्र के लिए खतरा है। विपक्ष सिर्फ चाह रही थी, 13 तारीख को घटना हुई, देश की सुरक्षा। आप सोचिए कि 140 करोड़ जनसंख्या इस देश की, और जनता चाहती है कि जानना कि अगर आप एक पार्लियामेंट जो सबसे सुरक्षित स्थान है उसकी सुरक्षा नहीं कर सकते तो देश की सुरक्षा के दावे कैसे कर सकते हैं?
Your point taken, Ms. Maji. Let me quickly translate this for Dr. Jay Kumar. Dr. Jay Kumar, Mahua Maji of JMM essentially echoed what you said in the beginning, that all that the opposition demanded was a statement from the Union Home Minister and the Prime Minister on Sansad security breach, because we thought that this is a serious matter and both these leaders must address and assuage the concerns of the members of parliament. This is essentially what Mahua Maji has said. Now, let's quickly open this up. Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author analyst, Mr. P. Gandhi, National Spokesperson of the DMK, Sanjay Jha, author analyst, Vivek Srivastav completes the panel. Dr. Ranganathan, the number of MPs suspended stands at 92. The outrage obviously amid opposition parties is growing by the minute. They say this is the death of democracy.
Good evening, Pranesh. Where have you heard that phrase before, death of democracy? No, there are 3 points I'd like to make briefly. Number one, Pranesh, let's take an analogy. You are conducting a debate here, so you are the speaker of this debate panel, and there are many speakers out here. They're all they're adhering to the rules and regulations of your studio. If somebody demands, let's say Vivek were to demand something of you, very genially, politely, you would hear it out and you would then adjudicate, be in the position that you are. But if Vivek suddenly jumps onto the table, starts tearing up papers and documents, flings them on your face, rushes towards you and says, no, listen to my demand right now, what would you do? What would any sensible person do? You would throw Vivek out or me out. I'm not just singling out Vivek here. That is what is exactly happening. Now, on the first day when we had this debate, Pranesh, it was on your channel. I sided with you, you sided with me, you sided with every sensible person that Parliament must have this debate as soon as possible. I even went on to the extent of saying that if the BJP has said that yes, this was a terror attack on the most sacrosanct temples of our democracy, then it augurs that the Prime Minister should have said immediately, made a statement on it, or the Home Minister should have made a statement on it and head should have rolled. I said this. But did I jump onto the studio table and said, no, I must have my say, I must have my say? That is the difference. So the demand is absolutely and wholly legitimate. But the means by which they are making this demand are flagrant violation of all the rules and regulations that the Parliament stands for. That is the issue. Not the fact that demand should be met. Of course, I am for those demands. I have been demanding them much before the opposition did. But am I resorting to these anarchic, violent ways? Absolutely not. So I am 100% behind the government and the speaker, mostly the speaker who's done this. And I must go a bit further. I don't think a fine or a suspension is enough. The speaker must truncate some period of the 5-year term of each of these MPs, because that should put the fear of God in them. If they get to know that they are going to rule over their constituencies 1 minute less or 5 months less, then they would be set on the right path.
Now, Dr. K. Jay Kumar, Congress MP, has been kind enough to take part in the debate.
Yeah.
He wants to respond to you, Dr. Ranganathan. Yes, sir.
I think Mr. Ranganathan doesn't have any habit of seeing the debates taking place in the parliament or the TV things. Last 3 days, take my case only, I am not talking for anybody. Last 3 days, I have been asking the speaker to take up this subject for discussion, to take up this. More than 3 days we have been shouting and asking for an opportunity to discuss this. If for 3 days it is not taken, what decency is talking about? What decency you expect me from that? I have to go and hang myself outside the parliament, having not given for the
you for 3 days, you will resort to breaking the rules.
I will force the speaker.
Is that what you're saying, sir?
No,
if for
it is
3
not
days
breaking
nobody
the rules.
listens to you,
Then what else
of
you
course
want me
you
to
broke
do?
the rules.
What else
you broke the rules.
Tell me.
That is the reason why you've been suspended. You brought in placards when clearly the rule suggests you should not bring in placards. You started shouting, you disrupted, you rushed to the... What do you mean?
Select committee is there, everything is there. I could not...
Why did you bring the placards?
I could not reach the speaker. I have to say because there is no opportunity for me to vent my feelings.
No, Dr. Jaykumar, that can't be a justification. If you're not heard in the House, you will, you will resort to displaying placards. If that does not work, what will you bring? Swords?
3 days there was no...
Is that the justification?
3 days. We are not allowed to speak on this. We have been asking from 13th onwards. Therefore, today I went near the speaker and I begged him. What I did with the speaker? I begged him, sir, please stop discussing all these things.
Okay, quick response from Dr. Ranganathan. Then I am bringing in Sanju Verma.
By the logic of this honorable MP, if a man approaches a court and says for 3 days he demands justice, but he is not given that justice in 3 days, will he take a revolver and enter the Supreme Court sanctum sanctorum and shoot the Chief Justice? Is that what he's saying?
You are making an
uncomparable
comparisons. Parliament is not the judge room.
No, that's okay, sir, but disruption, 1 minute. Parliament may not be courtroom. No, I understand, Dr. Jaykumar, listen to me, sir, 1 minute. Parliament is not... Parliament, Dr. Jaykumar, Parliament may not be a courtroom. I understand. But 1 minute, sir. Rules and norms of civility. Rules and norms of civility will apply in both houses of Parliament also. Okay, let's open this up. Gentlemen, please stay with us. Sanju Verma, the charge by the opposition is that this is death of democracy. You do not want voices of dissent, which is why 92 MPs have been suspended.
Pranesh, you have to moderate. I don't know, there is some background music which is very infuriating. I can hear somebody and I thought this was a serious debate, so I need to put my points across without being heckled. Thank you. Let's first put facts on the table. As per Rule 255, Rule 256 and Rule 276, which guide the proceedings in both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, the presiding officer of the House, the Vice President in the case of the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha Speaker, respectively, it is well within their rights to suspend or even expel for the duration of the incumbent session if they see that the concerned MP or MPs are not adhering to the stated conduct rules of the House. Let's be very clear. Mr. Ranganathan has already elaborated upon it, but I will get into some other nitty-gritties as well. Throwing paper rockets, carrying placards, तानाशाही नहीं चलेगी, jumping into the well of the House despite no provocation whatsoever, taking jibes at the presiding officer, behaving like kindergartners or even worse on the floor of the Parliament while coming out of the Parliament and saying ये तो लोकतंत्र का मंदिर है, but उसी मंदिर की जो भावना है उसको आप चूर चूर करते हो. So let's be very clear that the opposition has one agenda, Pranesh. That agenda is, be it the winter session, be it the budget session, let us disrupt the House, be it the monsoon session. And I'll tell you why. Please understand that the government under the DG of CRPF, Mr. Anish Dayal Singh, has instituted a high-powered committee which also has amongst its members the relevant experts from various intelligence agencies to give their inputs. Both the Prime Minister and the Home Minister have spoken. Mr. B.L. Santosh, one of the tallest organizational leaders, has tweeted saying that if an overhaul is needed, so be it. If heads need to roll, so be it. But if heads need to roll, that will happen after a thorough investigation. When, the National Herald scam accused Mrs. Sonia Gandhi and Mr. Rahul Gandhi were called by the Enforcement Directorate last year, despite the fact that this pertains to a tax evasion case of 2012-13. They were called after a good 8, 9, 10 years. पर ये लोग कहते हैं इतनी जल्दी क्यों बुलावा आ गया? पर यहाँ पर इनको 2-minute Maggi noodles जैसी justice चाहिए. That is the hypocrisy that these people are prone to. But I have just one question to ask. On the one hand, assuming, and nobody's trivializing the issue, I have said this to you earlier on our debate last week, Pranesh. On the one hand, you say that parliamentary democracy is in danger. This is a terror threat and needs to be dealt with a certain amount of gravitas. Well said. And, we are completely with you, as in the opposition, on board on that count. But on the other hand, in the same breath, the leader of the ... alliance, Rahul Gandhi says, "Arey Neelam Azad, Manoranjan, Sagar Sharma, Vishal Sharma, Lalit Jha. Why is the government, slapping UAPA charges against these guys? Ye to bichare berozgar.
Let's put that to Sanjay Jha and Mr. Gandhi. Now, Mr. Sanjay Jha, let me ask you this. Now, sir, let's be reasonable tonight. The Speaker, in a letter to all MPs, has said that do not confuse the two issues. The security breach has got nothing to do with the suspension of MPs. Do you agree with that?
Pranesh, can I just...
No, Sanju Verma, let me bring in Mr. Sanjay Jha. I'll come back to you.
Pranesh, I want to make 2 points here. Number one, what are Mr. Modi, the Prime Minister of India, and Mr. Shah, the Home Minister of India, doing for the last 4 days that they don't believe it is important to come to the sacrosanct House of Parliament? By the way, Parliament represents the will of the people of India, right? The parliamentarians from the DMK, the Congress, and the TMC are representing the people of India. But Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah in the last 4 days haven't found time to respond to it because they are too busy giving interviews to newspapers and TV channels. So according to the BJP, as the Prime Minister of India and the Home Minister of India, private media is more important than addressing the sacrosanct House of Parliament. The will of the people can take a back seat, but the private media enterprises need to be entertained before that. Wonderful. What a commentary this is on India's democracy. I'm reminded of what Dr. Manmohan Singh once said. Narendra Modi will be the biggest disastrous Prime Minister of India.
Well, Mr. Jha, who's a disaster, who is not? That the people of the that the people of the country will decide. We are a democracy, functioning democracy at that. The question that I asked you, you haven't answered that.
Which is?
The question is, Mr. Jha, the Speaker has addressed the MPs. Rajnath Singh, senior member, has addressed MPs in Lok Sabha. What else will Amit Shah... No, 1 minute. 1 minute, sir, 1 minute. And opposition MPs are saying that this is death of democracy. Now, even in state assemblies, suspensions have happened. Was that death of democracy?
Okay, Pranesh,
that was on the ground of misbehavior.
Pranesh, I need to come in.
Pranesh, let me answer you. You want to know what a absolutely hypocritical fraud the BJP is? I'll give you an example. On the floor of the new parliament, a BJP MP from South Delhi called Ramesh Biduri used the most repugnant, reprehensible language to the Muslim minorities.
Do not cherry pick.
What has the BJP done?
Not cherry pick.
What did the BJP do?
Do not cherry pick.
Have you condemned
Rahul Gandhi even once for statement sab Modi chor hai?
Please do not interrupt me in the middle. The BJP promised a show cause notice and an answer. What has happened?
I need to respond to
the
this.
The country knows that the BJP
remark by Sanjay Jha.
Can somebody tell me from the BJP what action has been taken?
I'll get the BJP to respond to you, Mr. Jha. But the comment of Mr. Biduri are repugnant, reprehensible. Action must be taken. But does that give you a license to then disrupt the house like this? Dr. Ranganathan made that point. You may have issues with the chair, but this is no way to behave. I mean, just look at these pictures. You can hold placards outside the Gandhi statue, that's all right. But to dance in front of the Lok Sabha chair, to throw papers, to wave placards like this, is this how we are going forward, sir?
Pranesh, this is a totalitarian government. These are authoritarian police. Totalitarian government. Democracy is not just dead, it's buried. It's buried already. Can't you see that?
Okay. Sanju Verma, you respond to this. Sanju Verma, you respond to this. Then I am bringing in Mr. Gandhi and Vivek Srivastava.
Thank you. Okay, now I heard him. I heard Sanjay Jha. Pranesh, let's be very honest. This entire, cabal is after Ramesh Biduri, saying, Ramesh Biduri ke khilaf action hona chahiye. I have been on various shows, and despite being the national spokesperson of BJP, I said his remarks were certainly not kosher, and let there be a thorough probe. But I fail to understand, why can't you condemn Ramesh Biduri, who abused the Prime Minister, saying, "Neech to neech nahi kahenge to kya kahenge?" But Sanjay Jha and his cabal were saying, "Sab changa si, wah bhai wah." When Rahul Gandhi said, "Nirav Modi, Lalit Modi, Narendra Modi, sab chor hai," and the Supreme Court despite staying his conviction, said that a person like Rahul Gandhi, who's a public figure, needs to use his words with a greater sense of maturity, and this is not done. He's a repeat offender. But the entire Congress cabal said, "No, Rahul Gandhi made an innocuous statement." Then, in April 2019, at a rally in Karnataka, Rahul Gandhi repeatedly said Chaukidar Chor hai. He was condemned and castigated by the Supreme Court. But running foul of the Supreme Court, he engaged in contempt of court and continued with his tirade. Finally, Meenakshi Lekhi had to file a contempt of court, plea against him. Tab jaakar Rahul Gandhi ki vaani ko viram laga. So I don't think the Congress needs to give bhashan to us, but just in 20 seconds. I'm seeing so many debates on the Parliament attack, and great, because I think free speech has not been scuttled, and thank God we have Narendra Modi at the helm of affairs. But barely 10 days back, or less than 10 days back, Arif Mohammed Khan, the governor of Kerala, his entire vehicle cavalcade, he himself was attacked by SFI goons in Kerala. The entire cabal, inke muh mein Fevicol jam gaya. Then less than 2 months back, the governor of Tamil Nadu, Mr. R.N. Ravi, right outside the Raj Bhavan, there is a man who's a repeat offender.
There are too many examples. We'll get to that. Let me bring in the others. Mr. Gandhi, Dr. Ranganathan, I'll come to you, sir. Let me bring in Mr. Gandhi and Vivek Srivastava. Mr. Gandhi, now, sir, here I'm quoting from what had happened in 1989. The date was March 15. 63 MPs in one go suspended from Lok Sabha. One go, sir. The Congress then had more than 400 MPs, brute majority, in the words of, your opposition colleagues. Was that Tanashahi? They were all suspended on grounds of indiscipline, and the rules of the House are clear.
I don't know, what are you talking about? And I'm quite appalled with the argument of Mr. Ranganathan here. He's talking about politeness. The member of parliaments have to be polite with each other. Let him please define what does it mean, politeness. The member of parliaments are not subordinate to anyone. Let us understand the whole thing. They are the representatives of people, and they are legitimately asking some information with respect to a security breach. So should they beg on the feet of somebody in the parliament? This typically exposes the feudal and fascist
Mr. Gandhi, one minute. This is not about the dignity of the member of parliament. It's about the dignity of the House and the chair. That is paramount. There are, 1 minute, sir. There are rules that the MPs have to adhere to. Whether or not you like them, you have to address the chair, and there are a whole set of rules. It'll only waste time if I go through them.
And the Home Minister are hiding behind the...
But Mr. Gandhi, that's okay. You can make your demand, but that is no justification for misbehavior, Mr. Gandhi.
What do you mean?
Dr. Ranganathan was only talking about civility. Is that too much to expect? Is that too much to expect? Just because you are representative of the public, does that mean you will throw papers at the chair? Sir, let me read out some rules, Mr. Gandhi. Sir, Mr. Gandhi, in the benefit of the larger debate we are having. Here are the rules. Members shall not read any book, newspaper, letter except in connection with the business, shall not interrupt any member while speaking by disorderly expression or noises or in any other disorderly manner, shall bow to the chair while entering or leaving the council, also when taking or leaving his seat, shall not pass, 1 minute sir, listen to this, shall not pass between the chair or any member who is speaking, shall not leave the council when the chairman is addressing the council, shall always address the chair, shall keep to his usual seat while addressing to the council. But look at the scenes we witnessed. All this was violated, which is why we've seen suspension. Now, Dr. Ranganathan.
Let me ask you one simple question.
I'll get Dr. Ranganathan to respond to you. You had a problem with what he said. Here's Dr. Ranganathan answering on that.
Yes, no, first of all, he shouldn't have taken my name, but he did, so let me respond in civility. I don't know what is it about Gandhi. They are in Congress, they are in DMK, they behave the same irrationally. What I said was that please, Mr. Gandhi, please.
When you told the
MPs how to let him at least speak, sir, please.
Mr. Gandhi, it is entirely appropriate that this person from DMK got angry when I said that rules should be followed and people should talk in civility, because he doesn't understand civility. He wants to eradicate Sanatan Dharma. So he and his ilk do not understand the sea of civility. So that is what you must understand. That this guy.
No, what did you say?
This guy.
No, what did you say, sir? Mr. Gandhi, what did you say?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Where are you coming in Sanatana Dharma to civility?
Sanatan Dharma does not have civility.
Yeah, what do you mean by Sanatana Dharma?
The civility emanates from Sanatan Dharma. No wonder you want to eradicate it.
From where you are getting it? Show me. From where you are getting it? Show me. Show me one book. Show me one book where it is said.
First of all, don't start shouting. Don't start shouting. Please. This is not the Parliament. This is not the Tamil Nadu Assembly. Understand?
What are you doing?
Please behave yourself.
What are you doing?
Behave yourself.
Show me a place.
Behave yourself. I won't say it again. Behave yourself. Behave yourself. Now, all I said was that I am 100% behind every opposition party in demanding that the Prime Minister and the Home Minister come, make a statement, inquiry is constituted, and the results are out. Of course, and I said it before the opposition parties. But is it all right for me to resort to this DMK like Gandhi's methods of anarchy and jumping over the well and rushing to the well, tearing papers, throwing it at the speaker? These are not Indian Sanatan Dharma methods. These are DMK methods.
No, we know what is Sanatan Dharma method, and we know how to deal with Sanatan Dharma also. Don't preach us. Okay, we know how to deal with all those things.
How would you deal with Sanatan Dharma?
But when we are asking a question with respect to security breach, when you are asking a question with respect to security breach, you guys are unable to even explain what is a security breach. How does this happen? And you are explaining that you are saying we have to be polite.
Don't be rattled out here.
So why are you No, 1 minute. Mr. Gandhi, the mere mention of Sanatan has got you worked up, sir. What is the problem?
They want
I don't know.
This is what they want to do. Look at
Does Sanatan... No, 1 minute.
No, are you conducting a program on parliamentary security breach or Sanatana Dharma?
No, I'll tell you, I am conducting a show on the lack of civility shown by the people there.
Ask him to speak on the parliamentary breach.
No, but what is it about Sanatan that you got riled up?
On the parliament
why is he bringing Sanatan? Why is the question of bringing Sanatan? Why are you poking on
Sanatan? He's free to talk about Sanatan, sir. What is the problem if he's talking about Sanatan? Should people not talk about Sanatan?
Yeah.
The only thing lower than your credibility
and ask him to speak on the parliamentary breach.
That you don't understand about it.
Okay.
Don't ask him to preach on politeness and all.
Okay, Mr. Gandhi, 1 minute. Vivek Srivastava.
Pranesh, you can replay, and Vivek, I'll just take 10 seconds, my friend. You can replay what I said, and I repeat it again for the benefit of Mr. Gandhi. I said I am absolutely for the demands, but they have to be placed in civility. They have to be placed politely. They have to be placed according to the rules of the Parliament. If Mr. Gandhi feels I said something wrong and I add, it is entirely in keeping with the principles of DMK, the party he belongs to.
Okay, Vivek Srivastava, should the rules of the House not be followed?
Ji. Right. Did you follow the rules in asking me to speak in the 37th minute of the debate?
Sir, if I didn't, if I didn't, what would you do? Throw paper at me, hold a placard?
No, I'm asking you a question.
Use a spray canister, what would you do, Vivek Srivastava?
What should I do? Ask Dr. Ranganathan to guide me as to what should I do. No, I'm asking Dr. Ranganathan to guide me as to what should I do if he is letting Dr. Ranganathan speak twice or thrice.
Vivek Srivastava, if you're asking Dr. Ranganathan to guide you, he could well guide you, but you will have to take his guidance. I'm not sure you will agree to what he says.
Show, man.
I want him to speak. I want him to tell me.
No, Vivek Srivastava, but now come on. Okay.
Come on. This is not the issue, Vivek. Why are you bringing me in?
What should I do, Dr. Ranganathan?
Don't be upset, Vivek Srivastava. Come on, you've not been suspended.
You said, no, listen. I'm not upset. When we started the debate, Dr. Ranganathan said that if there is a debate and Pranesh is conducting the debate and suddenly he does not let somebody speak or whatever it is, then you are not supposed to. Now I'm asking Dr. Ranganathan, if the anchor has actually been partial, if the anchor is not fair, if the anchor doesn't know who
No, 1 minute. Vivek Srivastava, before Dr. Ranganathan answers that, 1 minute. I was not being unfair or, 1 minute, sir, 1 minute.
I don't want your answer.
Don't brand the...
You are getting me in the 37th minute. I don't want your answer. But I want
Mr.
Dr.
Srivastava,
Ranganathan to
Mr.
answer my question, and then he'll get an answer.
Sanjay
to what the
Jha spoke
parliamentarians
before
did.
you. Mr. Gandhi
Yes.
spoke, sir. They were making
Yes.
the same point. I had Mr. Dr. Jay Kumar of the Congress party. Now, you know this.
There were
This
repetitions.
victim attitude
There
is not
were
good, sir.
repetitions.
Please
There
make
were
your point. I
repetitions
asked you a
and I was
direct
not
question.
called. Were you fair?
5 minutes
Were,
have gone
no,
in,
I am
sir.
asking you a simple question, sir. Arey, sir, I have given the point. You are unfair. Very much like the government of India. You are unfair very much like the BJP. You are unfair very much like the speaker. That is the answer. And I am being decent enough not to throw your cameraman out. And what the parliamentarians did over there, ये Congress
No, the fact, no, 1 minute. You are betraying your arrogance by even talking about it. You're talking, Mr. Srivastava, you're talking about throwing the camera person out.
Parliament में भी
You are talking about throwing the camera person out. I don't want you on the show. Vivek Srivastava, leave the panel. Relax. I think you have something better to do. We don't want you on the panel, sir. Please behave properly with the camera person who's gone there. He worked just as hard as as you do or anybody else. Mr. Vivek Srivastava, I am not here taking this arrogance, please. Vivek Srivastava, apologize for what you've just said. How dare you say that? I'm not throwing the camera person out. What do you think he is? A piece of trash?
How dare you not call me on the panel?
What do you think he is? What do you think the camera person is? Vivek Srivastava, what do you think the camera person is? Vivek Srivastava, what do you think the camera person is? You should, sir, at least fold your hand, say sorry to him. He's standing in front of you. Please.
मैं हर कैमरा पर्सन की एक्सपेक्ट करता हूं, तुम्हारे जैसे एंकर की नहीं करता.
मत कीजिए एंकर की, कैमरा पर्सन की रेस्पेक्ट कीजिए. एंकर को नहीं चाहिए आपका रेस्पेक्ट. थैंक यू वेरी मच. जवाब है नहीं आपके पास जवाब नहीं है. आपके पास जवाब नहीं है विवेक श्रीवास्तव. आपके पास जवाब नहीं है सर. जवाब नहीं है. अगर जवाब होता तो यू वुड नॉट बी रिसोर्टिंग टू दिस. हाउ डेयर यू से दैट अबाउट द कैमरा पर्सन? हाउ डेयर यू से दैट? अपोलोजाइज.
What do you mean by how dare you? You talk to me in that tone, I'll talk to you in the same tone.
You started it.
I'll talk to you in the
You
same
said
tone.
I will throw the camera person out. Be grateful that I'm not throwing him out. We don't want you on the panel, sir. Please, I'm sorry. Sorry, Vivek Srivastava. I'm sorry, sir. Please forgive me. नहीं चाहिए, sir. नहीं चाहिए. If you don't apologize, I'm not having you here. Please, I'm sorry, Vivek Srivastava. Sanjay Jha, we were talking about rules of civility, the rules of the house. Look what happened. This is the arrogance.
Pranesh, I want to make 2 points on your show. You and I have done many programs before. I want to make 2, I think, important points. I respect your viewers. Number 1, that, Anand Ranganathan talked about, Gandhi everywhere. I want to tell Anand Ranganathan.
Me. Pranesh, will you please
listen, let me answer you without
my
any
name.
interruption. This is a
No, let him make his point, Dr. Ranganathan, because he's taking your name. I'll come back to you for a response. Let him make that point.
This is a problem. I have noticed today Ranganathan is not just spoken, he's interrupted people rudely at every time. And that is what has got people aggravated. Let me answer you.
I don't know why.
You see, he started again.
Saying we are
No, you make your point. Sanjay Jha, you make your point. You make your point, please. Dr. Ranganathan, please, I'll come back to you, sir, for a response. Let him make his point, please.
Here is my point.
Mr. Gandhi, please let Mr. Sanjay Jha speak, sir. I'll come back to you.
I want to tell him, you will hear a lot of Gandhi, you will not hear a lot of Godse, no matter how hard you try. Number 2, Pranesh, I think it is important because you are a very responsible anchor. I have not seen you ever get agitated. But you know what? As a panelist, and I've been a panelist on several TV shows, it is important to actually make a proportionate opportunity for everybody. I think in today's program, I need to be honest, I saw Anand Ranganathan ride roughshod over people. He tried to intimidate people. He tried to be rude with people. And I think he does that very often and gets away with it. Don't allow him to get away with it. Pranesh, don't allow him to get away with it.
You will remain suspended all your life.
He bluffs, he blusters.
You will remain suspended all your life. Congress doesn't
He's a liar.
Nobody
He's a
wants
liar.
He's
a liar.
Has to be controlled.
Okay, let's not get personal here, please. Please, gentlemen, please. Please, you know the way it is going, I'll fall short of people to talk to on the panel. Mr. Gandhi, Sanjay Jha, please, sir, please. Please, let's not get personal here. Dr. Ranganathan made his point. You had a chance to respond to him. This is in the spirit of the debate. Sometimes you can have ups and downs, but that's about it. Nothing personal here, please. Mr. Gandhi, Sanjay Jha, we'll have to move on. Viewer and Kashi